Welcome back to Fox 23 News. I'm Nicole Menner. The Southern Miss baseball and softball teams had busy weekends, with baseball visiting Florida Atlantic and softball hosting UTEP, with 3-game series in both contests. We'll start first with baseball. After falling to FAU on Friday, Southern Miss evened things out Saturday and took the series yesterday after a grand slam from Matt Wallner lifted them past Florida Atlantic with a big 14-3 win in Game 3. Walker Powell tossed 7 1/3 innings with 7 strikeouts, improving to 2-1 on the season. Things were even better for the softball team, completing the sweep over UTEP yesterday with a 4-1 win. Senior Ciara Cherry was a triple away from hitting for the cycle, while Kim Krausen took care of things in the circle, pitching a complete game. The girls are taking on another busy week in Louisiana, starting tomorrow in Baton Rouge to take on LSU, followed by Nicholls State on Wednesday. Last week, we showed you the scene at Martinsville Speedway where Mother Nature decided to drop some snow on the track, leaving us and racers wondering if it would clear up in time for Sunday's races. But then on Saturday, light snow and rain would fall again, postponing the NASCAR Cup Series until today. So after 3 weeks on the West Coast, the series getting a little taste of winter here in Virginia. Down the stretch, Clint Bowyer pulled out to a 1-second lead on Kyle Busch to take the STP 500. It's his 9th career win and his first since October 2012. So with this, he snapped a 190-race winless streak.
Since I got in this 14 car, this was the one track that I remember last year was like, I think we could be better there, you know, with some adjustments. And fast forward to this year, you know, everything that we've learned last year, there's no question. All you guys was hard on us last year. That we learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself, but we've been steady Eddie with our 14 car and the things that I've always been accustomed to. Consistency and things like that are starting to see.
It's been a crazy few weeks of March Madness, filled with a lot of unexpecteds and as a result, quite a few busted brackets, including mine. But things are really only just getting started. This weekend, the 8 remaining teams were vying for a spot in the Final Four, so let's get started. First up, the Cinderella run for the ages, with Loyola Chicago taking on Kansas State. Per usual, Sister Jean led the Ramblers in prayer prior to tip-off, but it didn't look like they would need any help from above. Loyola was up throughout, going on a 13-4 run to start out the second half, including that 4-point play from Ben Richardson, storming to a 54-33 lead, and Loyola just took off from there, becoming the last remaining double-digit seed to head to the Final Four. Up next, Michigan taking on Florida State. We're jumping out to the final minutes of the second half, and a Duncan Robinson 3 lifted the Wolverines to a 10-point lead, but it would dwindle as Florida State rallied to get within just 2 points. They had a chance to tie things up, but a misfired 3 would secure Michigan's win. So the Wolverines taking on Loyola Chicago next weekend. Turning the page over to Sunday, first up was Villanova and Texas Tech. Nova looking to head back to the Final Four for the second time in 3 years, and their defense would be the reason they would get to. The Wildcats held Texas Tech to just 33% shooting from the field and 25% from beyond the arc to get the win 71-59 over the Red Raiders. 5 Wildcats scored in the double digits, led by Jalen Brunson's 15-point and 4-assist night. So back to the Final Four Nova goes, and we save the best for last. Duke and Kansas in what would be an overtime battle. We're going to jump right out to the good stuff. 30 seconds left. Duke up by 3. Mikhailuk sinks the 3, and things are all tied up at 72. Duke's Grayson Allen tries to finish things out before the clock runs out, but his shot rolls out, and to overtime we go. The clutch performance of the night would go to Kansas's Malik Newman, scoring 32 points in the game and 13 in the extra time to propel the Jayhawks into the Final Four. They'll be taking on Nova.
Yes, I am Kansas all the way on that one. I hope that they win. I picked them to win.
Well, they're taking on Loyola.
I am all in on Loyola.
I know.
Now that my bracket's done.
I know. If you really don't have a dog in the fight, don't you want Loyola to win?
It would be such a great story.
I need some prayers from Sister Jean.
Jean needs that to, I mean, she's just living her best life right now.
There you go.
Thanks, Nicole.